Let's talk about the Olympia. How did you feel about the Olympia this year? How did you feel about the winner and the results overall? And what is your take on it?
I actually liked Samson, the kid who won. I think he actually looked good. I think he actually is a little bit more of a throwback to the other guy, back to the way bodybuilding was. He doesn't have that huge gut. He doesn't have that 40-inch ripped waist I think he looked good. I think he looked really good. I was actually shocked because again, he looked more like the old school bodybuilders, the Victor and all those guys. I love, Victor's my favorite, not just because he's my friend, but because he had that V taper,
He's great,
his
yeah.
physique, that whole flex wheel, all those guys. This guy had a beautiful, beautiful body. I think he was, too many of those guys look like, they look like ripped boxes, like ripped refrigerators. That guy Hadi Ramba, I almost said Hadi Ramba. Hadi
Hadi Choopan, yeah.
He's so big and so broad, but it doesn't. It just looks like a ripped, like a California raisin or something like that.
Oh
ripped,
man,
I liked Samson. I did. I was like, wow.
I like Samson too. I think his story is amazing too, and the fact that his wife is coaching him that's an amazing story, man. Wow.
Well, most guys don't listen to anything their wife has to say.
Exactly.
But no, the fact that his wife trained him is like amazing. I want to know if everybody wants to go to his wife and get trained by her.
I know, right? Exactly.
No, but think about this. Who knows you better and sees you every day, all day, better than your wife, right? You walk out, you wake up in the morning. No, honey, listen, no, you look a little flat today. Maybe we should carb you up a little bit. Like she's right there. It's like the perfect thing. It's almost like if you had Hani Rambod living with you and he wakes up every morning and sees you all day throughout the day, sees how you train. I mean, that's the perfect situation, having your wife who knows you better than anybody, knows how you react to foods, knows how you react to training. I mean, she's there. It's perfect.
Perfect.
It's a perfect story, to be honest with you. Not for nothing. That's a story TMZ should take up. Here's a guy, superstar athlete, superstar bodybuilder, the best body in the world right now, and he's trained by his wife. That's right there's a story.
You know what's an incredible story is though? Is Andrew Jacked. He got 5th place, but I just did an interview with Andrew Jacked, and this guy, he's such a phenomenal bodybuilder because he basically started bodybuilding in 2021, Greg. He got his pro card in 2022, and now 2 years in a row is 5th place at the Olympia. So we're talking about a 4-year span.
That's insane.
That's crazy, right?
Big Ramy was a little bit like that because I was with Branch Warren when Big Ramy won that New York Pro, right? We were there at the show. He goes to me, I just got there for MD, muscular development, and he goes to me, yo, Greg, you got to see this guy come out. And and Victor was in the show because I root for Victor because he's my boy. But I couldn't believe. Then when I was backstage, Big Ramy, he came out of nowhere. And supposedly he was only training for like 4 years. Like 4 years before that, he was not, anything, just starting out, So, but Andrew Jacked, I mean, that guy's shoulder width is like 6 feet, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like 6'1" or 6'2". He's huge. Yeah.
He is huge. I seen videos of him walking down the street, and I was like, oh my God, it looks like a human wall. Just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's all, obviously, it's a lot of drugs, but it's also genetics. You can't, there's so many people who take steroids and don't look like that.
Of course. Or get a pro card within 1 year span.
It's sick. It's insane.
Speaking of Big Ramy, do you think Big Ramy will make a comeback? Because he hasn't competed 2 years in a row now, right? A lot of people count him out already. Like they say he's gone. Do you think he's gone, or do you think he'll come back?
I think if he comes back, he's not going to do well. First of all, I always felt like Big Ramy looked great from the front, great V, that shoulder, waist, and all. But he didn't have any like depth in it. When he turned around, he kind of disappeared. He didn't have that like thickness, depth in his back and his hamstrings and his calves. He had that silhouette that looked amazing, but I don't think he has the density that, he didn't get his heart. It just didn't have the package these guys have. I think Samson's going to be a tough guy to beat from here on. I'm not sure. We might have the new guy who controls everything.
It could be. I want to get your opinion. So it seems like between Arnold and Olympia, right? There's a friendly competition happening and a prize money, right? So Arnold announced a huge increase. I think $500,000 for the first place, right, this year. and then Jake Wood gave out a check for 600K for the Mr. Olympia, which is an increase. How do you feel about that? And do you feel like do you feel like it's going to continue just going up and up and up, or what do you think is going to happen?
I hope it continues to go up and up. It should. I mean, minor league baseball players, I know it's hard to compare because it's a different sport, but these guys are making nothing. You know what I mean? They're like the WNBA. They're making the peanuts compared
Well,
to
they're getting endorsements, Greg. They're getting endorsements. I mean, that's an important part of
even pro baseball players. They get endorsements from everybody too. Their actual salaries. I just think that the money should go. I think that Arnold wants to overtake the Olympia, so that's why he keeps. Arnold's got a huge ego, which is good for basically the sport, because he's going to want his show to be greater almost than the Mr. Olympia. So the more money you put out there, the more people are going to want to do your show.
Sure.
Your show is going to be the big one because that's the big moneymaker. So don't be shocked if he doesn't say, "Hey, Jake Wood, I'll see your 600,000 and raise it another 100,000." Do you understand? So I wouldn't be shocked because of Arnold's ego. That could actually help bodybuilding in a bizarre way. You know what I'm saying? It could actually help bodybuilding because I think Arnold has always wanted his show to be the show.
But it's difficult because Olympia has a legacy. Olympia has a legacy, right? I mean, they're both great. Don't get me wrong; they're both great. But Olympia has this history, right? Which Arnold does now as well. But it's hard, right? Because they're both top shows.
It is hard, but the thing is though, you're going to go where the money goes. And if the best guys can only go for one show, a lot of times guys who go in the Olympia only go for one show. And you say, "Man, I can make 700 or 800,000 in the Arnold or 600,000 in the Olympia. God damn it, I want that Scott, so I'm going to go for the Arnold." And that's how you can overtake the Olympia.
Yes, 100%, 100%. But you know what's interesting? When the news came out, like after Jay gave that check out, right, and immediately there was more complaints. People were saying, "Well, why only Mr. Olympia gets this much money? Why the other divisions, like people made an example, wheelchair champion only gets $6,000 for the first place." And obviously, I want to get your take on it. Like, not everybody can get 600K, right? It's impossible to sustain that. So they have to go for the Mr. Olympia as a pinnacle, obviously, right? I mean,
you got to go for you can't. I mean, I understand the wheelchair and I understand all the others, the physique and this and that. But the Mr. Olympia, it's bodybuilding. You have to go with the bodybuilding first. Most people aren't going there like, "I can't wait to see, the physique," or "I can't wait to see the wheelchair." Nothing against you guys that are in wheelchairs. Please don't take that wrong. But they're going there, dude, who's going to win the Olympia, bro? And when you talk about that, they're talking about the bodybuilding. They're not really talking about even the classic or whatever, even though I happen to like the classic physique.
Me too. Yeah.
But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the Mr. Olympia, which has been there since day one, and that's the entree. You understand? Everything else is the appetizer, but that's the entree. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way you got to look at it. So the entree, the main course, that Mr. Olympia, that's where you got to funnel the money because that's what's really drawing everybody. You know what I'm saying?
And it's the most extreme one. It's the most extreme one to achieve, right? So they have to give priority to that.
It's also what we built it on. I mean, there was no physique. There was no classics. There was no wheelchair. It's always been the Mr. Olympia. Those are just add-ons. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is the pinnacle of the show, is of all bodybuilding, is the Mr. Olympia. Now, Arnold would love it to be the Arnold Classic, and the only way he can do that is by, seeing Jake Wood like a card game.
Well, Arnold can just Arnold, I mean, if you think about it, I don't know all the finances right over the whole thing, but he can just easily put up $1 million prize for the winner, right? Just $1 million, right? He can do that. I mean, if he really wanted.
Sure, he could. He'll donate $1 million to like one of these, political things.
But that's what I'm saying. So he could afford it, technically speaking, I'm assuming, right? So like, if that, and then,
Of course he could. He should do that. To be honest, I think the guys deserve it. Look, dude, you're the greatest bodybuilder in the world. And listen, when Derek Jeter was playing baseball, he could go out and eat a hot dog at night or a hamburger and maybe, in the morning have some scrambled eggs with bacon and still hit the ball, field the ball, to play a great game. Mr. Olympia, it's diet, it's sleep, it's nutrition, it's, the Babanya drugs. And, it's everything all in one. Your body changes from minute to minute. How many guys they say, oh my God, he looked great in a hotel room. What the happened to him? You know what I mean? So they deserve more money than they're making. That's just my opinion.
Oh, no, of course.
It's a sport where it's unlike any other sport. A jelly bean, eating two jelly beans could change whether you win or place 10th.